IBB Builders Merchants proudly supports volleyball.
To get the ball in system here, potentially leading the game as he does from the inside. Nielsen, that's a good swing. International, the experience. Blockers watching through the net.
Hello and welcome to the Women's World Championships. We are currently in Łódź, Poland. Very excited to be here. I'm going to walk you guys around, show you around a little bit. The 2022 FIVB Volleyball Women's World Championship was hosted this year in Poland and the Netherlands. At the end of September, 24 teams playing the best sport in the world met to compete for the world title. The rules got the Netherlands and Poland automatically qualified for the competition, as well as the current world champions, Serbia. The top two teams from each of the 2021 Continental Championships also secured their qualification. The final 11 places went to the top 11 teams as per FIVB World Ranking. Tell me, how has your World Champs been so far? How was the experience?
Yeah, the experience was amazing, especially in this crowd today. Like, it's so nice to play, like in a full gym.
I think playing last night against Poland, in Poland with 10,000 people, that was an amazing experience.
I literally have goosebumps.
Yeah, and we pulled off some pretty big wins this tournament, so there's been so many good memories. I don't want to finish. But
Great matches the entire tournament so far. What does it feel like to be out there on the court?
I don't know. I don't remember. Believe me.
But it's all a blur.
This last
Blacked
set,
out.
really, I don't remember because this was something amazing and with so much stress. I'm so happy and really I'm proud of Team Poland. Really, like this young team, it's fight and also with the fans and everything. But I'm very happy because we are in semi-final.
Do you have any kind of like tips or tricks for any young middle blockers, what they can do to be amazing like you?
Oh, thank you so much. The most important thing for the block is passion.
Patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing, and then experience.
That helps. Yeah.
Yes, helps a lot because it's easier to read where ball is going, but passion is the most important.
Patience. I like that. So wait, be patient, and then explode.
Yes.
Can you tell me the sort of anything that's in your mind in those really pressure situations? Like if there are any little kids out there that are watching and they find themselves in these moments where it's make or break, like what are you thinking? What are you telling yourself?
I'm just telling to myself that we should be calm and we can do this. And it's just support each other and play together, and we are that team.
I think we have a great group of girls, and although we've had some ups and downs, we lean on each other really well. And this is my first World Championship, and it's been great to learn from some of the older players. This is our 23rd day on the road, I think.
I was gonna say, how do you keep yourself like physically, mentally fresh for such a long stretch?
Yeah, we have great support staff too around us, so they help keep us physically fresh, but we help keep each other in it,
I would like you to meet some of those who are not visible on the field, but who play very important roles during the whole process. You were a physiotherapist in my team when I played in Turkey. Yes. Now you're a physiotherapist for the Turkish team. Can you explain a little bit what your role is?
My role mainly is to prevent injuries, and if there is injuries, I try to treat the players and put them as quick as possible in the court.
And also to always have a smile and to be in a good mood. That's what I remember about you, always putting us in a good mood.
If you love your job, you have to have smile.
You're team manager.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your role for Team USA.
My job is basically to just keep everything running smoothly for the coaches and the players so they can keep their focus on the matches, which is important. So all the small things from like coordinating our flights, meals, to laundry, so all of the things behind the scenes to make sure the focus is where it should be.
So good to have someone like you. I need you. I was doing all my own laundry, washing my clothes in my sink. I wish I had someone like you.
I like logistics and just like the nitty-gritty things behind the scene to make sure that the players can just have a singular focus and the coaches can just be where they need to be when they need to be there. So yeah.
And when the game is on and the players are competing on the field, people, such as myself, have the honor of commenting on the game. What's the best part about being a commentator, other than sitting next to me?
I mean, that's obvious, right? That's an obvious thing. I think I'm a crazy person. I love preparing, so I actually love the 2-3 hours you spend prepping for each match. But I also love, and I think you and I have talked about this, it's the closest, you're in the fray without being in the fray, right? Without putting the knee pads on, I think you say it.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's it, is being right there in the action and telling the story. I love it.
And just to give you guys a reference to how close we are, here we are sitting, and there's the action. Literally right there. You are a commentator for the Turkish game.
Yes, right.
What is the best part about being a commentator?
Being famous.
We're so famous!
Being recognized on the streets and, of course, visiting.
Really? Is that real?
Yeah, of course. And visiting many countries.
But fame comes at the price of hard work. There are 2 gyms being used at the same time, so one's right behind me, and the other one, the Atlas Arena, is right here. So that means, as a commentator, I have one match over here and then just walk myself across to the next one. Super simple, but that way they can have 4 games going on in any given day. Those gyms are not only full of some of the best players, but also some top-level coaches. Let's go ask for some hot tips. Is there one thing you can tell me as a strength coach that for any of the players out there they can do for like injury prevention that's really important? Is there like one secret sauce?
Oh my gosh, what a huge question.
I know, right? I'm like, floodgates open.
Okay. Here, I'm going to try to be really simple. Here's one thing you could do.
Okay.
When you're at home watching Netflix, do a couch stretch, a long hold couch stretch where you put your back foot up on the couch, put your knee on the ground, lean forward on something, and try to just relax. That is just a huge all-over body stretch that will keep your lower back and knees out of trouble.
That's a good one. Men coaching women, what's the difference for you? Is there a difference?
Oh, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in starts in volleyball is a difference, but I think that is to oversee like what's possible, but then it starts in the way I'm still looking for how to handle women. It's really true. It's really a daily...
I think all men in the earth can concur on that.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a daily process where I think like, can I do this? Can I do this? Not. Can I make this step? What's the consequence?
Yeah.
And with men under each other, you know much better what's going to happen. I know much better with a man if I take this step that most men will react like this.
And what's the experience like being at a world championship, not on the court as a player? You're sort of sidelined to it. What's the experience like for you?
It's so frustrating. I am so bad at it. I am constantly shrieking. I'm pulling my hair out. I take maybe 6 bathroom breaks during just to pace around.
Just for stress.
Yeah. Oh no, there's
out.
definitely people like probably reporting me to administrators for just sitting in the bathroom pacing back and forth because I'm so nervous. I get this from my mom. I'm awful.
But life during the champs is not only about the games. Can you tell me what you guys get up to when you're not playing volleyball?
I mean, everyone has different hobbies, like traveling, reading, books, like macrames, like all these different stuff. Yeah, we had some girls there doing like chains and stuff. So yeah,
Awesome.
everyone really different.
I love that. Creative people on the German scene.
We play cards. We play a card game called Finny, and it's not a common game. It was invented kind of in the volleyball community, in the USA volleyball community. So it's kind of your almost initiation, I feel like, to the team.
So you can't tell us unless we're on the team?
Well, I mean, I could teach you, but it's a little complicated. I've been told it's a mix of euchre and something else. So.
There's been a lot of book reading on this trip.
Books!
Yeah.
What can you recommend? Give me your favorite
gosh, right
book.
now I'm reading the Last Thing You Told Me.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a Reese Witherspoon book recommendation. Like it's New York's best time seller.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller.
Times bestseller. What did I say? Did I not
I don't
say
know.
that right?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay. But there's a girl on my team, Stevie. She's read 12 books on this trip. 12.
I can't even get through one book. I feel like I'm in school if I pick up a book.
Yeah,
I like audio.
There's a bunch of readers on our team.
Yeah?
Like, it's a real thing.
I like that.
A lot of times though, we sometimes need our alone time and to just like sleep or just like stay apart, and then I don't know, there's not a whole lot actually that we do.
Sleep.
Yeah,
sleep, eat, repeat.
Yeah, I know.
The life of a volleyball player is really glamorous. In the final games of the championship, Italy dominated the United States 3-0 and took home the bronze. Meanwhile, Serbia will continue as the reigning world champions for another 4 years after successfully defending the title from 2018, triumphing over Brazil, who went home with the silver. Welcome to one of my favorite sections of the show, the News Corner. The Women's World Champs have just wrapped up, and it was such a great experience, not only for me, but also for my fellow commentators, players, officials, volunteers. Poland and the Netherlands were fantastic hosts, and of course, the level of play was top-notch. So to recap, if you missed it, the final 2 matches were held in the Netherlands, in Apeldoorn. The stadium was a little bit smaller than in Poland, so it felt quite intimate and really just made for such a fantastic atmosphere. Italy had been unexpectedly beaten in the semifinals by Brazil, but came powering back against the USA in the final match to win the bronze 3-0, adding to their medal collection, which includes a gold from 2002 and a silver from 2018. Egonu, unsurprisingly, the star of the show, 25 points for her, and the USA just were not able to find an answer for the big Italian weapon. Italy came into the tournament as the reigning VNL and European champions, so with that came a huge amount of pressure on their shoulders, and they performed with grace and maturity. However, shortly after the celebrations, a video of Egonu went viral. She was speaking to somebody, and she was overheard clearly upset after having to defend her Italian nationality for presumably not the first time. She's one of the best players in the world. The eyes of the volleyball community are always going to be on her. But I think we forget that she's still only 23 years old. She's had several successful seasons with Conegliano in Champions League, in Club World Champs, and now Egonu is actually leaving the Italian league this season to play in Vakifbank in Turkey under the talented and well-respected Giovanni Guidetti, who headed up the Turkish national team this summer. They lost to the USA in the quarterfinals. And the USA, they had a pretty up-and-down tournament, some impressive 3-0 wins, but also some shockers, including a 3-0 loss to Poland in front of a huge Polish crowd in pool play, and they almost dropped to Thailand in 5 sets. The USA have started a new Olympic cycle, and some of their star players have retired, the likes of Kim Hill, Jordyn Larson, Michelle Barchackley, but in their place, some fresh faces like Ali Franti, a friend of mine from my playing days, who on a good day can pretty much swing high and hard past anyone. But she can also struggle in pressure situations, having never played at this level before. She literally got a call from Coach Karai after her last season in Italy saying, "Hey, we'd like you to be part of the gym. We'd like you to be here, part of the larger training group." And next thing you know, she's going to be the go-to player at the World Champs. Talk about a whirlwind rise. It was so great to see her, and also other youngsters like Kara Bajima stepping in to wear the red, white, and blue. But USA nevertheless left the tournament with no hardware, and not the result they were looking for or hoping for after a gold medal at the VNL and at the Olympics last summer. But after a disappointing early exit from the VNL earlier this summer, this was at least a step in the right direction for the Americans. Brazil valiantly put themselves in a position for the first World Champs gold in their history, trying to add to their 3 silvers and 1 bronze, but alas, it was not to be, despite an incredible blocking performance by Carol throughout the tournament, as well as Gabby doing her part as per usual for Brazil. They had to settle for silver. Serbia, the reigning champions from 2018, were able to repeat history thanks to the addition of Boskovic back in the squad. The Serbians were undefeated leading into the match, having dropped only 5 sets over 11 matches, and they finished off in style, a 3-0 sweep. Boskovic, crucial as per usual, but I was actually really impressed with the distribution of the setter Dursa, who used her middles, Stefanovic and Aleksic, in exactly the right moments. A storybook finish for the Serbians, who returned 9 players from their 2018 title. After the match, Boskovic was in tears. She thanked her family who were in the stands, and in response to what is her mentality every day she steps on the court, she told me how much she just truly loves the game. Amazing to hear. Coach Santarelli and his wife Maki De Gennaro who happens to be one of the liberos, or the libero of the Italian team, posed with their medals after the match. All in all, a great day of volleyball to wrap up 3 weeks of intense World Champs competition. So as you can see, the whole world is excited about volleyball. I hope this has convinced you as well. Maybe you'll go see some matches at home in England. Right now is the season for the London League as well as the National Volleyball League. So let's check out what it's all about. The National Volleyball League, NVL, is England's highest level of competition for clubs. It runs from October through to May.
This season we've seen 143 teams enter, which is up there as one of the highest number of team entries that we've had in a season.
The structure of the league is set into 3 divisions. The 3rd and 2nd divisions are spread regionally, while the 1st division is national.
And that's just one step below the top of the pyramid, which is the Super League. And in the Super League, there's some fantastic matches going along during the season to be crowned the champions of England.
This season, the title is being defended by Durham Palatinates, both in the men's and women's competitions.
Historically, though, it's Mallory that have the highest number of victories in the top division, and they're closely followed by IBB Polonia London.
This year, IBB Polonia has very high hopes for reaching the podium.
This year, I reckon we are the strongest team. A lot of people move from other clubs.
We like to compete and play and train at a high level, so the championship is very, very important to me and for the club.
The next year, IBP Polonia are gonna turn 50 years of real life, so we would like to win the cup final, the league as well.
It is really exciting, yeah. Some of the games is gonna be a good match, so yeah, it's worth going and watching.
So we're expecting a fantastic NVL season, some strong performances across the leagues as teams vie for promotion. With the Super League, again, we're expecting a close finish. The likes of Durham, Polonia, Mallory, they'll be there battling out to the end to see who will be crowned the champions of England.
Each team has its own social media website where you can follow important events. All games are open to the public, and all the details are available on the volleyballengland.org website. Meanwhile, volleyball fans who live in London and don't want to travel can follow the London League.
London games are open to the public. Every London League team has their own venue. As long as the venue is in London, it's approved. So every club has a website. There is also a website for London Volleyball Association, and everyone who wants to enjoy some volleyball can check the timings and enjoy the volleyball because the matches are free to attend.
The league season runs in parallel to the national competition season. When it comes to their rules, there is an important difference.
Every set is up to 21 rather than 25, and then there's normally a time limit, so after a couple of hours the session stops. So whether you're winning or losing, it doesn't really matter, but when the time stops, whoever is winning wins the game.
Nevertheless, it's a very popular league among Londoners.
In London League there are 80 teams registered for this season. They are split into 10 divisions. We have around 600 matches and around 1,300 players that compete regularly. Any team can join the league as long as the home venue has a London postcode. They have to enter the league from the lowest division, which is the 3rd division currently, and every time they win the league they'll progress to the next level up to the Premier Division.
The battle for this year's trophy already started.
I think that Onyx is performing really well and had performed really well during the past season, so they are definitely a tough one to beat. Richmond is probably another one, which is quite cool, and Spikers. I would say those are the main 3.
The club Onyx will defend their title in the men's competition. For the women's, last year's champion was Lionhearts East. IBB Polonia London has its own specific goals in this league for this year.
For IBB Polonia London, that currently has two teams of junior players. For us, participation in London League is really important because that's where those young and upcoming players can start to learn to play in the matches and take the responsibility for the team. So we are not really in the London League to win it. We are in the London League to participate so our juniors can get better.
IBB Polonia London has its own specific goals in this league for this year.
The two teams that are juniors at IBB Polonia, they enjoy playing in the London League because they usually play against high-level competitors there. Some of the teams are built of retired adults, so for our under-16s, under-17s and under-18s, this provides a perfect opportunity for them to really start playing under pressure.
Nevertheless, volleyball fans who decide to cheer for their favorite team live will not regret it.
I'm a bit biased, but I think volleyball it's an incredible sport. It's one of those sports where the ball is always running, so you can't really stop it. And you're fighting against gravity, so it's always exciting to see from the outside and to cheer. I would just invite you to come over and have a look. It might be that you find out that volleyball is actually your sport. So.
All right, we have come to one of my favorite parts of the broadcast, the interview section, and today we are chatting to someone from the Polish tourism organization, Przemek Marczewski. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks so much for being here.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation.
For the viewers, the Women's World Volleyball Championship just ended. That was there. Do you have any significant memories of the event?
A unique atmosphere. That's the best, I think, part of every sport event. No matter if it's volleyball, basketball. Of course, trophies are important. The sports results are important, but the atmosphere, without fans, sport is nothing, I think. Those fans not only come for the sport event, but they are also traveling. They are also discovering the countries that are the host cities. So I think that people are the main factor if we are speaking about big sports events.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially in Poland, and I say this a lot to my volleyball friends from the US or from England, there's just something about the crowd there. I think I'm going to have, what's that song go? Da, 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 da. I'm going to have that in my head for years to come because that's the entire crowd is chanting. And it's sort of like 8 to 10 to maybe even more thousands of people in the stadium packed in, all in their red and white. And it's such an incredible atmosphere to be part of. You do a great job on volleyball. I haven't been to other sports, but you do a great job on volleyball specifically. But this time the championship was I think it was in Łódź and in Gliwice. I've been to Katowice as well. What do you look for in those cities, or do you know why those cities are chosen for these specific events for volleyball in particular?
Łódź and Gliwice are well-connected cities with excellent facility for indoor events. Why? Because Atlas Arena, the arena of this volleyball championship. Also, Arena Gliwice are modern and capable of almost 14,000 fans. So, if you haven't been to Poland, I think that sports events are a good opportunity to see, to taste, and to feel this atmosphere, to be a part of the crowd. This white-red flag made of people that are sitting in seats. Maybe not sitting because they are always standing and clapping their hands. They're singing songs to help their teams to give 100%
absolutely. I
or even more.
completely agree with you. I have not spent that much time in Poland outside of just coming to these volleyball events, but every time I come, I don't know what it is, but I think because the organization is always so good, the places that we stay, the things that we can do, you don't think of Poland, or at least maybe I haven't in my history of a place that I would just love to visit, because Europe is filled with beautiful places, Spain, Greece, think Italy, but Poland has so much to offer, and you can really go there and live quite cheaply relative to other countries. So you can eat well, you can travel and really see a lot of really awesome things. I just learned this word sport tourism just recently. Does it mean what I'm thinking, just traveling to a country to see a sport?
I think that sport and tourism has this common factor. that it's based on emotions. You feel emotions during the match, but also you feel emotions when you are traveling and you are visiting those beautiful places in Poland. No matter if we are talking about Polish mountains or Polish sea, Baltic, or discovering and sightseeing, because Poland, I think it's well prepared for city breaks. Our cities are made for city breaks. We are really open for foreigners. And moreover, we have this common phrase like if someone enters your house, he's like a god for you. So you need to treat him as well as a member of your family.
I think that I can classify myself as somebody who not only does sports tourism, but tourism as a sport. I love to travel. Highly recommend Poland. You should definitely check it out. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
To get the ball in system here, potentially leading the game as he does from the inside. Nielsen, that's a good swing. International, the experience. Blockers watching through the net.
IBB Builders Merchants proudly supports volleyball.